we need right, I think so, Rajesh. Wherever I go, just they are talking about the web service API.
Yeah. I've used not in the project, but it is that I don't have the URL. It's restricted to the project, so that is why I was not able to show you. Okay, before I go into the web service, I'll give you high level. This is the second level. Earlier we have spoken about the web service and REST service, how it operates. I gave example using the weather API. Now I'll show you exactly how it is. Let me share the screen. I've shared the screen. Is it?
Yeah, just I can see white screen.
So I'll draw a diagram here.
Rajesh, usually the URL in the middle, which is acting, we can call as API.
Is the endpoint. We call it the endpoint. Okay. The URL is called the API. You're right only. It's actually different terminologies we give. We call it as endpoint. We call it as API. API is a generic name given to the entire structure. The entire structure is called as an API. But when you go in detail and when you start working on it, you don't ask for an API. We ask for endpoint, because multiple endpoints we club together and call as API. We tell that I have the APIs available. APIs.
Okay.
So which means I have multiple endpoints available. When you start working, you ask me, okay, what are the endpoints you have in the API? So give me the list of the endpoints. Okay, so the structure goes like this. There is a weather provider. This guy has locations. This guy has employees all around the globe, and he collects the weather data. He is having a service. No, he's having a server, a Tomcat server, Tomcat, and a Spring Boot application, where he has a database. So daily he collects the information and he stores the information here. He is having since it is a Spring Boot application, definitely there is a possibility, but for our case, let us take that we have three layers. Let's say we have three layers. The last layer is the DB layer, and here is the Spring Boot, and UI layer is JSP or Angular. So when I want to see as a client, let's say I am a client and I want to see the data.
You want to see the data?
Weather. You want to see the weather in my place. So what I will do, I will go into his website. I will log into his website. I'll select my region and I'll see the data. That is any customer will do. If you go to weather.com, that is what you will be doing.
Okay.
But no, let's not. Yeah, let's take weather.com itself. Correct. So this is so I go into the website and I see the data. So this entire box is a website. So I'll hit his JSP and I'll give my location. When I hit get the data, it is going to call the Spring Boot. No, it is going to call the correct. It is going to call the Spring Boot. It is going to go to DB. Then it is going to come back here. It is going to come back here, and it is going to go back to the JSP. From the JSP page, the client will see. This is a straightforward flow where any customer can log into the website and see. Now, there is one more guy who is new in the market. This guy is coming up now. New guy in market. So he is a very, he is a startup. So he cannot have employees around the globe. Okay, he is a very small startup company, and his aim is to show the, now let us say he is a news channel, a new startup. He wants to show the weather in his website. So he is a new guy who is a news channel guy, and he wants to come. He wants to show the weather, but he is not having that much of financial power to employ and get the data. But he is good in getting the news. So that is his area of expertise. He is not expert in getting the weather data. Okay, this is the scenario now. So what he will do, he cannot employ the customer. So he is going to approach this guy who is a leader. He will tell, hey, I am a news channel. I want the weather information to be scrolled in my channel. I'll use the weather information, but I cannot employ the, one second, am I started the recording?
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah, okay. Because these are very important. So future it will help. So what he is going to tell, I cannot employ the more resources, manpower is not possible. So can you give me data? Can you give me data on a hourly basis? Or can you give me data as I ask? I'll ask you, then you give me data. Let's enter into a contract. For every time I ask you, I will give you $2. This is the contract. So for every request, when I ask the weather about New York, I'll give you, let's say, $1. When I ask about New Jersey, it's $1. So for every request I give, it is $1. Or for every day, I'll pay you $1 or $2. It is depends on the contract. So these two guys now agree and they come into a contract. Now he is having a server, a web application, everything is already built. This guy is also having a similar setup. He is having a web application. He is having a JSP page, a Spring Boot, and a database. But this is all for news. This is not for weather. This is the news website.
That is so different. Okay.
News.com. So this is news.com JSP. And this is news.com's Spring Boot. And this is his own DB. This is his business. He has every news related information. Now he wants to show the weather. So now both of them have entered into a contract. Now for this guy, along with this JSP, we have a news.com JSP, right? He will have one small area in his JSP as weather. In this section, he wants to display the data. Now for this guy, for the weather provider, it is not a big deal. He has everything. He just have to share the data. So what they do, this guy will build a web service. He will write one program.
Okay, that is web server. Now we are going to build web service. Okay.
He will write a web service, and this section will be called as skeleton. So behind the skeleton, the actual business logic is running. He will have a skeleton, and he will create an interface. Okay, so he will create this as a front end, because to access the temperature, what is the current route? Everyone has to come through this red color client. They have to go to his website and only see it. Now he needs to find a way to bypass so that this guy, the news channel, need not log into his website and get it. He can tell, this news guy can tell, the weather provider guy can tell to news guy that, hey, my website is there. You please log in and take the data. But it is not possible because it's not possible to take for all the states and cities every hour, right? It is not a man cannot be deployed to do this. Also, by doing this, the weather provider guy will lose revenue if he is going to do that. But secondary, the primary is no one will do that because it is not an easy job to update it, a redundant job to always update it. So what he will do, this guy will develop a web service and skeleton and interface. He will ask and he will be exposing a endpoint. He will tell, this is my endpoint.
Rajesh, here skeleton and interface, both we can call as web service, right?
It is part of the web service, part of the web service. Actually, there is nothing, it is like car only. Which one you car as a car? Door is not a car, engine is not a car, but everyone together working is called a car. Otherwise, every single piece has its own name, right? It is called seat, it has got gear, clutch. So if you see, there is nothing a car if you go inside, but as a whole, we call it as a car. The same logic. We call it as a web service, but if you go inside it, we will not have anything calling as a web service. Each one will have its own different name. We'll call as an endpoint, skeleton, interface, stub. We'll have a proxy. These all are like a parts of a car, but when these all work together, we call it as a web service.
Okay.
That's the analogy you have to remember. So you cannot expect a word web service inside the web service. You cannot be looking for something like, okay, where is the web service? Which is the actual web service? You cannot be looking for it. It is, if you have a web service, means it will have a skeleton, interface, endpoint, port, everything will be there. That is a web service.
Okay.
So this guy has done its work. He has developed the skeleton, interface, and endpoint. Now he will tell to this guy, hey, my service is ready. Whenever you want, you access this and you pay me $2. That's all. And whenever the request comes, he will be recording it. So
Rajesh, here endpoint or credentials, we can say as
endpoint. Endpoint is the door. Credentials is the key to open the door.
Okay.
So endpoint is the place where the news guy has to enter.
Okay.
It's a door of a house. To enter, it will be locked. The endpoint will be locked. So using the credentials, he has to open it. That's all.
Okay.
Now this guy is done. So the news guy will tell, he will call a developer, hey, there is a web service available. I want to consume and I want to get the data and show it in the news.com. What will you do? He will just create one stub. He will create a stub. This is called stub. And he will use this endpoint. He will use the endpoint to create a stub. Stub cannot be created just like that. The endpoint is used, or the WSDL is used to create the stub.
Okay, here WSDL is the endpoint.
No. The endpoint is a URL. Let's give like this.
Entrance
endpoint is the URL. WSDL is the.
It's one of the protocol to create stuff.
No, WSDL is the. WSDL. Okay, one second. I'm just thinking. WSDL is it is a definition or it's a template. WSDL is a definition or template of the entire web service,
Okay.
which means the skeleton, interface, port, endpoint, methods, request, everything will be stored in WSDL. The WSDL will have information to everything. If he access the WSDL, he will know every single detail of which endpoint to call, what are the, I'll show you a WSDL. So this will have this is like an index or a complete this is like a index to the book. This has information about everything.
Okay, by using this WSDL, we are going to create the stub. Okay.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Yeah, by using this WSDL, we are going to create the stub.
Correct. You got it. That is
Okay.
right.
Okay.
So, what else I missed? That's all. So this guy has created stub using WSDL. Now the skeleton will access this layer, Spring Boot, the service layer. It won't go to JSP, it won't go to database. Earlier, JSP was accessing the Spring Boot. Now the skeleton, through the interface, the stub will call this. Actually, it will start from here. The stub will call. It goes here. It access. Then the response comes back. The stub will send here because the sub will be running from the boot only. The JSP cannot directly call it. So now Spring Boot, it is his business logic now. He can do whatever it is. He can store it on the DB or he can just show it live. This is the detailed. This is the detailed picture of how a web service will work.
Okay.
We will now create the skeleton interface. No, we will not create the skeleton interface because we are not going to create a web service. We will create the client side and see how to access the web service. I'll show you that part.
Could you please repeat it, Rajesh?
We will be creating this side, the client side, stub. We will create a stub now.
Okay.
And see how to access a web service.
Okay. Rajesh, 1 second here. The thing which the third-party vendor is going to provide, the XML format doc, we will call as the whole, what we can call. Do you get my point, what I'm saying?
Usually, third-party provider will provide WSDL, WSDL.
Okay, WSDL, it's an XML format. XML or
that is
the
that's the only data they provide. When you ask for a web service, they'll give WSDL and the credentials.
Yeah, I can see some credentials, some name, something like that, some tags.
Yeah, and WSDL. Using WSDL, we can generate everything.
Okay. We can create stuff that one. Okay, gotcha. In the same scenario, Rajesh, for example, I am the client. Okay.
Okay.
For the third-party vendor, they want to access my application. I am the client here. I have one application. Third-party vendor, excuse me. I am the client. I have multi-factor authentication application. For the third-party vendor, they want just to access my multi-factor authentication application. For that, what they given is just one XML format doc or something like code. Here, this XML format code, we can call it as WSDL, right?
Yes, but you have to see what is there in the XML.
Okay.
I'll show you a WSDL. If
Okay.
the XML has all those information, then it is called WSDL.
Okay.
It should have information about skeleton, interface,
Mhm.
endpoint, everything it should have.
Okay. So what are the different terminologies we have read in web service? We have seen about first, where is my, okay, first is we have seen about WSDL. It is it covers all the info about web service. Every single detail about web service will be covered in the WSDL. That is the first. Second, secondary, we have the we can say metadata as WSDL, Rajesh. The metadata file.
You can call it as metadata, which means the informations, right? Metadata usually means the additional informations.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah. You just for an like understanding purpose, you can call it. The WSDL will contain all the metadata information only about everything.
Okay.
Thirdly, WSDL is going to contain what is types? Types are the input and output parameters, or we call it as message attributes. After type, it is going to contain UDDI, which is universal description, discovery, and integration. This contains the details to the endpoint. And then this will have the stub and skeleton. And we saw endpoint and terminology. There will be a port, we call it as binding. Where does it bind? And then we have the, we call it as operations. These are nothing but the methods in web service, which are all available. Everything will be there in the WSDL. All of these, whatever we are seeing. And then the message that is used for communicate. That's all. So we saw these things. These are the key values in a web service. Okay, something is getting hidden now. Maybe I can I reduce the font here?
I don't think so. We can reduce the font in this white.
I'll try to move this.
Rajesh, you were talking something, I think.
No. I am just
Okay.
rearranging. Okay, now it is okay, right? At least better.
Yeah.
But it's all over the place, but no problem. You will understand it. Okay, so I've saved this. Now let us go back to the code and get this running. Let me open up. Okay, so all right, so I have it. Okay, so let me stop this share and I'll share my screen. So yesterday I managed to get a Vistal file. Learn web service.
Rajesh, this is the file I'm talking about. We can call this one as metadata. Actually, in my current project, I got this file when we're going to
this is a Vistal. This is a WSDL. See here, WSDL definitions.
Where we can see that one. Okay.
The first tag which is opening is called as WSDL.
I can see entity description, XML, and it's like that. That is different. Okay.
This one. That is different.
Okay.
You can see this, right?
Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah. So let me go over this file. So this is a sample WSDL file. I will share it in chat. So just save it in your local. You can use this whenever needed. So this is a free web service for learning purpose. And yeah, so if you see here, I said types. Types are the what all has to be sent. So we have like, we are using method, we are having a response, and what is say hello? It is referred to TNS say hello, which is here, which is a complex type. We have different types here, complex type, simple type. So these are nothing but the definitions of a request, of the method, and the request is going to contain one name, which is of type string. So when we form an XML, we have to form the same way. We have to form a tag with name, and it should be string value. And this is, the response is going to be like this. They will reply back with a message. So this will contain the request, response, and any other attributes which are all there in the web service. And this is a method. Say hello is a method. This method is going to take hello request as an argument. What is hello request? They are given here, this one. What is inside the hello request? If I expand it, there is a name. And then if I go down, the message is hello response, say hello. The endpoint you can see here, The endpoint name is hello endpoint, and the soap binding, hello endpoint soap binding is hello endpoint. The port is, see here, this is the endpoint, HTTP learning web service services / hello. This is the actual endpoint we have to call. In our case, we did like /greeting /welcome that was bringing a JSP. If I access this in the browser, we will get an XML error. Method not allowed. Please use post instead of get. This is a web service endpoint. You cannot access using the browser. So web service definitions are going to contain like this: the types, messages, the method names, the endpoints, the bindings, the service names. So all these things are going to be there in the web service definition. So this is called a WSDL. So we can just save this file as a WSDL file in our local. When I hit save, we can do like sample.wsdl, and it will save as an no, not XML. It can save it as an WSDL itself. We can use this for creating the stuff. Okay, so with this, I'll bring up the diagram. This is old, this is old. Okay, so we saw WSDL types, so service, everything is there. Now we go to Eclipse and see how to generate the stuff. So now I go here. I tried actually before, just to ensure that the service works. Before that, I want to show you something from where I downloaded that service. Not here. These are some other service endpoints. Like these are JSON endpoints, I guess. Yeah, these are JSON. I'll send this also. For JSON, this is the endpoint. I'll close this. We don't need it now. And this is the worldweatheronline.com. See here, it is a pricing based. If we go into the pricing, view plans, see here 2000 requests per day, which means you can hit 2000 times the web service, and we have to pay $5 per day. So if you are developing a website and you want the world weather, you can sign up with them. There is a sign up in the top. When you, yeah, there is a sign up here also. See here, you sign up, you register, you pay them, and they will give you the credentials and the web service endpoint. And you have to follow the process, what I am going to do now. And you can start and get the weather data.
Okay.
But if you want more, then it is $15, real time, and up to 14 days. So they'll give 14 days of weather. And this will give only 5-day local weather. This is 7-day marine weather. Here it is 1 day. So different features. These are all different data based on the pricing. And what is the total hit?
It means how many times we can ask. That's what we're
correct. How many times you can. I'll show you what is a hit.
Okay.
Custom request per day. This is 2000 requests. This is custom request, means any number of times, I guess. It's an enterprise, unlimited key, maybe unlimited website they will have, unlimited request. Okay, then custom is something different. So if we talk with them, they'll give us the real picture on what it is. Unlimited usage on any website, 99% uptime, SLA. This is 95% only. Sometimes when we hit, we may not get back a response. And this is 99. So we have the comparison. This is how any web service provider will be giving the data. So you can sign up free.
Okay.
Okay, so this is good. I'll close this. And if I go here, learnwebservices.com/service. I got this from one of the, all these websites were down. I searched like 30-40 websites. It was not up. No, this is also not working. Any API. No, not this one. Here it is, this one. Here they have given the web service. It is online now. You see here, green color, it is online. The WSDL document is available here in readable format. So I have not gone into this. Here, the same.
Rajesh, one more thing. You are now you are telling about API. Before you told about web service.
No, now also I'm in web service only.
Okay.
I'm showing you from where I took it.
API also we can call it as web service, right? But
No. A web service and REST service all come under API.
Okay.
It is like cloth. Under cloth we have trousers and shirts.
Okay.
Same way. No, not trousers and shirts. It will be like t-shirts and shirts.
Okay.
If web service is a formal shirt, then REST service is going to be a t-shirt. But everything come under one category as clothing, which is API.
Okay. Okay.
That's how it is.
And we are going to choose which one we want.
Correct.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So we have the SOAP. Let's go ahead and create the stub now. So I showed the web WSDL. Now I'll copy this WSDL because I said that using the WSDL only we can create a stub.
Okay.
I'll go to Eclipse, File, New Java Project, WSDL stub. I'll do an empty project like this. We will not have any files. I'll right click the SRC, New, Other. You in the window, you choose Web Service. If you type web, you will get many of these. Choose a web service client. And in the service definition, paste this and hit enter. You got the files. Since it is a very simple service, we got only few files. These are all automatically generated. Did you notice?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they have given, using the WSDL, we got an endpoint interface. We got a proxy, which we can use to hit. We got a service interface. We test two methods, get port, get endpoint, get address. We will not use this anyway. We have a service locator. We will not use this. Inside this, so these are all auto-generated code from the WSDL. We saw this in the WSDL. If you remember, at endpoint address, if you go to WSDL, at the end there will be, see, hello endpoint port, and we saw somewhere endpoint address. I showed you the URL. Maybe this one only. Yeah, services/hello. So this is coming. Whatever is there here, that's what is auto generated here. Service name is hello endpoint port. See here, yeah, hello endpoint port.
This the location, the name. Okay, we are going to create by using. Okay, this one we got it from the client, right?
Correct.
Okay, from the client we got it by using this one. They given some details. By using this one, we are going to establish the for to access the weather.com. Okay.
Yes. So Eclipse will take care of creating these Java classes. They gave here say hello, which is the method name, which is accepting say hello request, and which is input is a say hello request and output is a say hello response. See here, request and response are created. Request is hello request, which is having name, which is of type string. We saw in the web service that in the definition, say hello should take a parameter, say hello request, where it is. Here it is, hello request, and it should take name, type is string.
Okay, the same
So-
thing. Okay, whatever the thing in the XML document, we have to be okay in that
No,
format here.
it will automatically come. We are not giving anything.
Okay,
I will-
the same URL you are using, right? That's the thing. It got
Yes, using that URL, using this, if you notice,
mhm.
I will delete this. I'll recreate once again.
Okay.
The folder is empty now. Okay. I right click, I go to new other, and I type web. I am telling I want to generate a web service client. And it is asking where is the web service. I'll give the URL, the WSDL file.
Okay.
See, immediately the red color mark went on. This is okay. This is not an issue. This is telling we will not be deployed. That's okay. But it has recognized. If I try to give something else, it will tell the service is invalid because this is not a correct place.
Okay.
We have to give exact whatever we received from the client, we have to give it. So that is why we need an exact service. And I give WSDL. If I delete this, it is not working. It's not going to generate a client.
Okay.
Now I give next. See, it is asking where should I create? It is telling SRC I'll create. I am telling okay, no problem, finish.
Okay.
As soon as I finish, using the WSDL, it will create all the required classes.
Okay. The same.
Manually,
It's going
it is
to
not
duplicate.
possible.
It's not like duplicate. It's going to.
I deleted.
Okay. Whatever the thing in the WSDL, it's going to mirror here.
Correct. Whatever is there in the single file is going to be split and created as multiple Java files.
Okay.
That is why they share as WSDL.
Okay.
So our work is done. It is actually impossible or very tough to create these methods, right? You see here lots of it is very tough to remember. So, and also it is a redundant work. Why should anyone create this every time again and again when we know that this is how the pattern is? So it will create everything automatically and our work is done. We just have to go create a new main program.
Now what we're going to do, Rajesh?
Now we are going to hit that service, web service. What they said, if you hit this say hello, if the operation, the endpoint is hello, if you hit this say hello, I will be returning a say hello response. This is what the web service guy has said us. This, wherever I took it. Okay, they don't have a, yeah. So see here, this is the input. If we give name as input, they are going to return back a response as hello, your name.
Okay.
If you send Jana, they will tell you hello Jana.
Okay.
That is what the web service is going to do.
Okay.
So
Rajesh,
where will we
go to that WSDL?
Okay.
WSDL. Yeah. Here we have the input say hello. The output.
Not input. This is the method. This is the method we have to call. Operation is the method.
Okay.
We have to call say hello, and we have to pass this as the input.
Okay. And the response where we can see the response also.
Yeah, the response will be of type say hello response. Okay, we have to go and see what is say hello response. There will be a definition here. If they have said say hello response, they would have given here what is say hello. Here it is. See here. This is what they are referring here.
Okay.
And say hello response is what it is. See here it is. say hello response is going to contain another again. They are referring internally here again and again internally. So this is the final. They say hello response will have a message as type string.
Okay.
So if you go to Java, say hello response will have an output message.
Okay.
We can print that and see. So here I will be creating 1 second. I'll just use the same main program which I created. So I have this main public static void main, and I am using the hello endpoint proxy which is created here. Okay, I'm creating an object of this, and what they said, you should pass request, hello request, correct?
Yes.
To say hello, there is the operation. Here it is. So you should send out hello request and we will give a hello response. So I'm forming a hello request object. The request class is already automatically formed. Here it is. So I create an object of hello request and hello request dot I'll give rs. Now this locator object dot say hello. This is the place I call their web service. And I pass the request. I get back a response. I'm printing the response.
Okay. By using our stub, it's going to get the values.
This is the stub.
Okay.
Using this stub, we didn't create this. It was automatically created using WSTL. See here. This is having the endpoint. This is having the endpoint address. Everything is internally referenced. This will refer all these files. Our work is to just to call the stub. Using the stub object, we form the request object and we set that request object and call the hello method.
Okay.
Inside the stub, if I give dot, we will see that only one method is there. There is also get endpoint. I can print that also. Instead of locator, I'll go stub object. Stub object dot get endpoint. So if I run this, this is the endpoint. Now it will call the web service. It will get back the response here.
Rajesh, 1 second. From where the endpoint we got? The one what is given is one service.
Here, 13.
I'm asking the URL.
The URL is there in the WSTL. See here.
Okay. Okay.
This is a file written by the vendor. They will code everything. We will not have any work in the service side.
Okay.
They will code everything. This is the this is how the request should be. This is the parameter. This is the endpoint. This is the code. Everything they will code and they will give us a file. We will not have to do anything else. We just have to use the file and create this. Everything will be 100% perfect.
Okay, whatever the thing in the file, what is given by the client, we are going to establish in the stub.
Correct. We are going to auto generate the stub. So this stub, this one file is split into multiple files here.
Okay.
And because Java needs that way. Why it is creating multiple files? Because Java needs that way to access it.
Okay.
Then we just call the stub and we call the method. That's all. Now, when I send a value, they are returning back hello.
Okay.
You can call this web service in another way using the SOAP UI. You have to copy this SOAP env and paste it in SOAP UI and send it. You will get this SOAP envelope as response.
Okay, if we got the response means our stub what we configured is correct. And
No. Correct. There are two things we are speaking now. One is in Java. In Java side, if you get this response, our stub is correct. In SOAP UI, this is how you have to do.
Okay, we are getting the response to on the SOAP UI.
Yes.
Okay, that means we are giving some input. We are going to get the response. That means it's working properly.
Correct. Let me see if there is any other service like temperature converter. Okay, other provided web service. There is something else as temperature converter. I'll go to this web service. Okay, super. So there is I have not seen this. Freshly I'm seeing in front of you. So this is a web service. What I will see first is what are the methods available. I have to search operations. What are the methods? Operation. See, they have two methods: Celsius to Fahrenheit, Fahrenheit to Celsius.
Okay.
They have two methods. And what is the input? Celsius to Fahrenheit request is the input, and Celsius to Fahrenheit response is the output. 99% the inputs will be same. They will add request at the end. These are the standards. So if you know one WSDL, you can see it is very easy for you to work with anything. And what is there in the request? If you go here, what we have to send the temperature in Celsius as double. What will be there in the response? A temperature in Fahrenheit parameter as double. Okay.
Okay.
Now I copy this URL. I go to the same project. I right click.
We're going to
new
put it here.
Other web service client. Next, I give that URL here and go enter. The stub is generated. Now you see there are more files than the previous one.
Yeah.
Like I think 1 or 2 files extra. Now in the main program, this is calling say hello web service. Okay, this is done. Now I will come to the bottom, calling temperature conversion web service. So where is, so I'll first take a look at the files. 100% I'll have a file with request and response. So I'll go inside and see, okay, in the request object, I have to give a double. In the response object, I'll get a double. Now I'll see if there is a proxy. Yeah, it should be there. Definitely it will be there. It is implementing this one. So as I said in the core Java, left-hand side will be endpoint temperature proxy, temperature stub equal to right hand side will be the proxy object. Okay. Create method temp. Okay. Temp class proxy. Why it's not importing? The method is undefined. But there is a method. There is a. Okay, let me proceed with this and see. So I'll form cells. Okay, maybe this program is not. It is inside the other package. Maybe it's not having access. Let me try inside this one more main program. Main program 2. These must be just access related. Main. I give this. No, still same error. Okay, temp converter endpoint proxy. Something else. Okay, so I'll copy this and try to create an object of this object input equal to this one. The method is undefined. Okay. New. Oh my God.
They are creating a.
No, I missed the new keyword. Yeah. It's a basic. So this should work in the other main also now. So I'll set input dot set temperature in Celsius. I'll go, it's a double. So 35.9 degree Celsius. So this is an input object I formed. Now I have to call the web service. Dot Celsius to Fahrenheit. I have the Celsius request. Just this will be the standard. Usually we give the object name as the class name and we append obj and the first letter will be small. These are the standards we follow. Okay. Obj. Usually we just copy the class name, we paste it here, make the first letter as small and we add an obj. This is the instruction I usually give to all the team members. So it will be standard.
Yeah, it will be easy to understand.
I'm sorry?
It will be easy to understand and
correct. Yeah. Instead of having the object name as ijk or the variable name ijk, we have meaningful because usually the file length will be like 1000, 2000 lines. Yeah. So at the 2000th line, if you see a variable name as I equal to j, you have to backtrack 1000 lines and go up and see what is I, where all it is declared, what is it. Instead of that, if you tell like Celsius equal to 20, you'll know that, okay, this is being assigned to Celsius, something like that, right? And what this is going to return a Fahrenheit response. So Celsius Fahrenheit response obj equal to this much. Temperature T is missing. Okay. Now we'll give a sysout response object dot get temperature in Fahrenheit. I'll run this. So the conversion is taken care by the other guy in the web service side. We are not writing the logic. We don't know what is the formula. When I give a temperature, they will return back. So it's taking time because it's a web service call. The program is still not over. The red box is still there.
Then we need to get a response, right?
Yeah, we got it. Okay. 96.61999. It's a float.
Okay.
So this is how the web services are called. You got an idea now, right?
Yeah, now I got the idea, Rajesh. Whatever the file it may be, it doesn't matter. Just it's like the information what we need and what to establish. It's an information file.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that is right.
Anyway, in every in my current project, if I want to configure for new application, just they will send one XML document or metadata document. I'm not getting. No, just I'm clear. Okay, this is the thing there.
Yes. Because that is why they send only the XML.
Yeah, only
That
the
will
XML.
that will have the entire history or what to do in the web service. Everything will be coded and configured there.
Okay.
So we'll pause here for today. Any questions
Okay.
so far
I'm good,
on
Rajesh.
this one? You're good. Okay. So today we'll pause here and we'll regroup tomorrow. I'll see if there is something else pending in the web service. All
Okay.
we'll see. Otherwise, we'll go into a new topic.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Rajesh. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thanks. Thank you for
Yeah.
joining.
Bye.
Bye.